buddy. Oh, look, the sunshine comes
Everybody is out
and
and about.
so do the animals.
Hi, buddy.
Hi, big guy.
Hi, guys. Hello. Good morning. Goodness, you guys are getting big.
I was just scrolling through pictures today, just kind of reminiscing, and saw some old pictures of these little bitty baby goatlets. Hi, buddy. You're not little bitty baby goatlets anymore. You're like small medium. Uh-oh.
Looks like somebody, please touch me.
It's a spruce trying
He's
to
got
eat my
his
overalls. Hey guys, welcome back to K&S Get Out. It's Kyle and Shannon. It feels like winter. I think we just got over freezing, above freezing temperatures, and we had to wait till the sun came up above the horizon. Rained on all day yesterday. These guys were wet, hanging out in the shelter. Herc was soaked. I don't think he felt the
Completely
rain.
soaked.
But look, he got a bath.
All the
So
mud is off of
clean.
his feet. You cleaned yourself up pretty good, Herc.
Looking so clean, buddy. The only one that's not out here is Harry. So all of them are out here. I've got a spruce on my back. What are you doing back there, big guy? You got feed in your pocket, Dad? I got you something, buddy. A little pepperoni for Herc, you know. But yeah, Harry's not out here, so I'm hoping he's in the shelter, staying warm. We're still not out of the woods with him yet, guys, so we'll give you an update here in a minute, but we gotta get some feed. You're not supposed to be up here. You're welcome for your pepperoni. We need to get them their feed and everything, and let's check on Harry.
Okay. It is so nice to have sunshine today.
Oh, very.
So nice. It just completely lightens our spirits and everybody's. Hey, buddy. Good morning. He's just hanging out.
Is he shivering?
Doesn't look like it. It's a good sign. I was able to see him drink a little bit of water yesterday, so I think we're making progress. It's just still, we have a ways to go.
So he's not going for any grain today, which is not a big deal, because grain is actually, not great for weathers as far as the calcium buildup and potential blockage issues. Is it calcium, or is that, maybe that's from
it's calcium.
alfalfa. Either way, so we're kind of trying to hand feed him some hay, and he was kind of hovering his back left leg, and I don't know if it's because he was contemplating scratching with it or if it's bothering him. It's just so hard to know. So if you saw my dad's last video, the emergency I had to leave at the tail end of our last video was Batman. And if you haven't watched it, go watch his video and get caught up. But Batman is also under the weather a little bit right now. So we're both kind of on goat watch, each with our own. And it's so hard to know. Dad did order a couple of thermometers because that was the first thing when we took Harry in. The very first thing the vet did when she came in was take his temperature, and that's how we knew it was 107 degrees. They can either be low, which I guess, as Dad was telling me, is more difficult to get their temperature up, or they could be high, about 102 being that median line. And it's a little bit easier to bring it down. Gemma. Herc, you're okay, bud. You're okay. This is the problem with everybody being in the shelter. We get to be a little bit active with one another. I'll come back down here. This poor guy yesterday, man, sopping wet, but it's like he didn't feel it, didn't know. Still wanted to love us, be in our laps, hit us with his muddy paws. Of course, we were freezing. We do okay in the cold. Obviously, we just got to get transitioned to it because we get all 4 seasons in this part of the country. The biggest problem with this cold was we've got like 21-mile-an-hour wind gusts today. So just when you start to feel okay, then poof, you get hit by a wind gust and just kind of chills everything off again.
Hi, buddy.
So I didn't like all that rain yesterday,
you tried
Mom.
off pretty good, though. You did
really,
pretty good.
I wanted to love you and hug you, and you didn't want it.
Well, you were just a little soppy and wet.
Well, yeah.
I actually did see him come up and lay down. Oh, thank you. Lay down in this on the top tier last night and kind of finally dry off and take a nap and all that. So that made me feel good that he did that, because Miss Mama and her boys were in your house, weren't they? They were in your house.
I'm kind like that,
I can't believe you let
Mom.
him do that. That was so sweet of you.
I'm very kind.
Yeah.
Didn't I chase him?
Oh, buddy.
So we do have 2 more of the shots that they gave him at the vet, which are the antibiotic, and then I believe one of them is actually like a fever cutter. And so when we get those thermometers in, we'll keep a better eye on his temperature. And of course, if we see, you know, way too high or way too low, then we know to react immediately.
Okay, I can let Mama and her boys out?
Yeah, I think everybody's through their feed. There's a little Koopa tissue over here. They know the gate's open, but they're like, we're on the wrong side of the shelter. They used to fit back there just fine, but I just don't know.
I mean, if Spruce can fit back there, they've surely got no problems.
Yeah, Spruce is a little bit thicker than these little cuties. You know, you could just go around though, it'd be a whole lot easier. Are you just playing?
Silly boys. Golly, they're getting so big.
They are. Koopa's got it figured out. Little Mario, you're free to come out, dude. You just gotta go to the other side of the shelter. Now the good thing is I just picked him up. He does shiver when he comes out and feels that wind. And I think it's just a little bit of undernourishment, maybe not drinking quite as much as he should. You know, I don't want to give him that shot earlier than what the vet told us to, just because I'm not certain if, you know, some of it in it like needs to take its course and, you know, not be too potent. So tomorrow he'll get his next shot. He's a little bit jumpy when I touch him, but I think he's just kind of paranoid and he's definitely shivering a bit. But I did hear his rooming when I picked him up.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, we had talked to the vet and she said just about every minute it will try to cycle. They got the 4 chambers and she says, so you'll hear it. You know, I said, oh, is that the sounds like their stomachs are growling when you pick them up? Who's that?
Koopa.
Is he just scratching his horns? I can't see him.
Yeah, he's like pushing on you and scratching his horns.
So we did put him in the shed in that last video, and Shannon stayed in there with him for a while, built a little straw bed, had the heater going. But the little guy, he was not a bottle baby, so he never stayed in the shed like Spruce did. Spruce would gladly go in there and chill with Shannon.
Oh, 100%.
All day long.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, somebody misses you.
But Harry was even more terrified once we got him up into the shed. So I stayed up there. Oh my gosh.
What are you doing?
He's like, would you pay attention to me?
Are you nipping at him? Don't do that. Little stinker.
They don't like to share their attention. So anyway, I got Harry up there and he walked around with me for a little bit, but he actually started shivering more. And I think it was because he was scared. He'd never actually been secluded by himself. So I tried to get him to get comfortable and kind of relax and lay down with me for a little while, and he wasn't having it. So I ended up bringing him back down with everybody else. I did isolate him for a little bit with Blue and Larry, though. We let them have their own shelter, their own straw and hay and everything, and I feel like that did kind of help.
They're like, hey, we're the center of attention. Who this hairy guy and why are we doing this? Hey, buddy,
Hey,
that's me.
Let's not do that.
That's me. Come up here. I'll cuddle with you. Be nice to Harry. Hey, jealous much? Goodness gracious. You're going to get Herc on you here in a minute. Be nice, buddy. That's a good boy.
Blue's just watching. She's not concerned, though.
Spruce, don't hit us, okay?
So
Hey. Golly.
They want all the attention. It's been raining, so we didn't spend as much time with them as we normally do. They're ridiculous.
Be nice, buddy.
Come here, Herc.
Harry doesn't feel good.
You're going to have mud on your head.
I feel like I have mud on my head right now, like a mud-colored goat, maybe? Hey. Don't nibble on him. Don't nibble on him.
Come here, Spruce. We need to just give some attention to you for a little bit.
I think I need to get him back in the main shelter because he's just
Too cold.
He can't get it together. He's laying here. I mean, I'm not holding him against his will by any means, but Spruce is trying to take cheap shots on us.
Poor little guy. Lots of prayers for you, little guy. Spruce says, what about me?
I'm thinking about slamming him in the head. Is that what you do to a sick goat, Mom?
No, buddy, that's not what you do. Be nice.
I can love you too. I can love you too. Ooh, your breath smells like poo and grass.
Yep.
What are you thinking about?
He's like, I'm gonna jump on you. Oop, that doesn't feel good, does it?
Well, I'm hearing your rooming too there, dude.
Spruce.
This guy's falling asleep in my arms.
And everybody else says, pay attention to me, pay attention to me.
Oh, excuse you.
Was that him?
That was Harry. Mama, be nice, babe. He's not feeling good.
Come here, Coop. Come here, little guy.
You're okay. You're okay. Hey, you wanna lay back down
Herc,
with me?
can you come here, buddy? Come here, Herc. That's a good boy.
Hey.
It's a good game.
Hey. I was thinking right here, I'm getting a little bit of sunlight through the window. I'm definitely getting a lot more wind blockage.
Oh, good. I'm a little bit surprised he let you hold him. He was a little bit standoffish after we brought him home from the vet.
It's so cold.
We had a lot of suggestions to get him a doggy sweater to help keep him warm.
I would absolutely do that. So Blue's a La Mancha goat.
Yes.
And we believe she was a dairy goat, like they milked her, I would assume. So she would have kids and they'd milk her for however long they could. So these guys are part La Mancha or full La Mancha, I don't know. But they're the only two goats that we noticed, especially yesterday when it got real cold and rainy, they fluff up. Like he turned,
Yeah.
both of them, it looks like they put on about 10 pounds overnight. Do I have my Rudolph nose yet?
Yeah.
Welcome to winter.
It's runny nose season, guys.
Yeah. Yeah, watch Grandpa Doss Farms. Check out his nose in the cold too. If you guys are wondering where I get this big cold red nose from, it's that guy. But yeah, these two, I need to look it up. They fluff up and kind of put their mohawks up and just keep their fur as fluffy as possible. And I would assume maybe somehow, some way it helps keep them warm or something.
That was my assumption too, because Larry is super fluffed up right now.
Okay, buddy. Dude, you're shivering. Can I help you? I can help you.
Why don't you lay down, Hair Bear?
Oh, you're shivering good. I got you, buddy.
We are taking this very seriously because, as a lot of you mentioned, goats lose their will to live whenever they start not feeling good. And that was something I didn't know. So we definitely are keeping a close eye on him. I've been spying on him on the cameras nonstop. But we definitely just want him to pull through and be okay.
Yeah, you know, short of taking him into the camper, which would be obviously the warmest place we have out here, I don't really know what else to do. So, you know, if we brought a blanket down here, yeah, I can only imagine how long that would last. You know, but if we put him over in one of these shelters by himself, where then we could give him a blanket and a bed, he just freaks out because Blue and Larry aren't with him.
Yeah.
But you put Blue and Larry in with him, and they freak out the whole time. And that night that we kept them in that nursery, Blue, I want to say, probably didn't sleep at all night long.
Nope, she was up all night guarding.
And we caught her yawning the next morning when it was feeding time. See, I think I can kind of get his body temperature down, and eventually, like, he shivers a little less, and now he's leaning into me.
Oh, good.
I think he's straight falling asleep. I just don't think he's been sleeping well either.
I'm sure that's it.
Do you want to put your bottom down?
There you go.
I just need you to scoot forward. That's okay. You're
In those
okay.
front legs.
Oh, buddy. I'm not going to hurt you. I know, you're so cold. I can help you. Oh, big warm body. He's kind of wheezing a little bit. Gosh, this is rough.
This is super rough.
We're trying to, you know, maintain the positivity. We like to keep a positive outlook on everything that we can, but, you know, these are the tough times that you just got to do everything you can and pray and hope for the best. And that's kind of where we're at with him.
Yeah. Come on, little guy.
And you know, they don't have the same compassion that humans do. You would think, I would think that Blue, you know, would know something was wrong and give him some more attention, but they really, it's just kind of the goat way. Like if something's going wrong, they just play it off like nothing's happening. Nothing bad is going on.
Yeah, I mean, she has cuddled with him, but it's not been like, as a mama, like I would cuddle with my baby.
Well, it's no more than they did before he was ill.
Yeah.
You know, they, just like the two littles, the Mario Bros, you know, they'll cuddle up with their mama, and that's pretty much how they sleep every night. These two will cuddle up with Blue. That's how they sleep every night. But she doesn't go out of her way to make sure that, like, you know,
that he's okay.
He's in between Blue and Larry for the most warmth. Well, I think I've got my hands a little warmer now, at least the side I'm touching him with. I know my chest and everything's got to be warmer than not being here. But, you know, we can't sit out here and hold him all day, you know. And we've tried giving him the accommodations that you would think he would want, which would be the shed and the space heater and the straw bed and, you know, you and I, but it did not make, it didn't make matters any better. And, you know, he doesn't necessarily know that we're aware that he's sick. You know, goats, they don't think that way. They don't know those things. So while you're trying to give him all the attention, trying to help him, trying to get him to eat electrolytes or drink electrolytes and stuff, you know, you can only do what you can do.
Yeah. That's not for you. Don't tell me you didn't get enough to eat. I know you did. Yeah, I know you did. Spruce, everybody has gone down into Goatville except you.
And Harry, and you, and my dad.
I know, but all your other goat friends and Herc, they're all down in Goatville.
Well, that's a perfect time to bring in the animal crackers, Mom. And oh no, if no one else is up here, crud, they missed out. I'll eat theirs.
Oh, that's super sweet of you to offer that.
I'm a pretty kind-hearted goat.
Silly boy. You're so silly.
I'm curious, if I let him down, you know, would he even try to go down there and graze with them?
I bet he won't.
Kind of thinking the same. Did he eat any of his feed from this morning, or just the hay we were giving him?
Just the hay I gave him. I can see him shivering.
Yeah, it's much more intermittent when I can get him pressed against me and let me touch him, but every once in a while the convulsions start back up.
Well, and he keeps closing his eyes like he's going to sleep. Spruce, I would like to give you credit that you're concerned about your little buddy, but we all know that's not the truth.
I just want food, Mom, and I figure, you know, my chances are better if I'm up here. And if I ram this little guy Dad's holding, then my chances are even twice better.
No, they're not actually.
Yeah, I'm good at math. Goat math, Mom.
So this is, now when he was born, Spruce got a little bit of cold.
Yep.
Not like our negative 15-degree wind chill night that we had last year, but he has felt the cold, and obviously he's not lacking in body mass.
Yeah.
But this is Larry and Harry's. They were, what were they, June? June? Is that how you say June? June.
June 24th.
So June 24th, well, they were born right in the middle of the hottest part of the summer for us. We're right before it. So all they have experienced is extreme heat.
Yeah.
And then the glorious fall few weeks that we had there. And then boom, I think it got down in the upper 20s last night.
Yeah.
So, you know, is part of this them adapting and learning how to live in the winter and the cold? Yeah, probably. It's just, boy, cruddy timing to be under the weather when the weather takes an extreme turn. Yeah. Now, I think we've got it coming back, but it's going to be
in the 60s.
Yeah, but even still at night, we're talking upper 30s, lower 40s.
Well, for the next few nights, it's still going to be in the 20s.
Yeah. So I don't know. We're going to keep brainstorming. Going to keep trying to think through ways that, you know, we can't, they all have to be feasible. We have 8 goats and a herc down here. Mm-hmm. So would I love to bring down a heater and a blanket and bed like I was talking about? Yeah, I really would. But, you know, they will also only do what they feel comfortable and natural doing, just like we try to give accommodations. And he's like, I don't want this. I want my mom.
Yeah.
But I also just kind of want to hold him all day.
I get it. I totally get it. Goats do sleep standing up, so he is falling asleep as he's standing in Kyle's lap.
I know, I wish he would lay down though because he's getting a draft under his belly. Can I put your feet down, buddy? There you go. It's okay. You're okay. See, that blocks the wind from coming under your belly.
Move, dude. Watch out.
Spruce.
Excuse me. Beep, beep.
Spruce.
Golly. They just don't make it easy sometimes.
I know, it's like they're not even letting us get more acclimated. Oh, Coop is running Harry down. Oh my goodness. We may have to try the isolation again today. Maybe just without Blue, try Larry and Harry. Golly, I don't know.
It's not that we're deliberately going against what the vet said as far as isolating them and keeping them separated. It's just we know that he doesn't do well in that situation. So we were trying to put him with everybody, but that's just, it may not work. So if we can put him in that shelter over there, at least he'll have sunlight and be able to stay warm. And then there were a lot of questions too about, did they do a blood sample? Did they check his fecal matter? Did they check for this? Did they check for that? Guys, to be honest, we let the vet know what was going on, and then she did what she thought was the right thing to do as far as checking on things and testing him for things. They did the x-rays to make sure that his bladder wasn't ruptured and that his rumen was working.
Well, she went through it while she had him in the room, and she was literally checking his private parts in a way we did not expect need checked.
To make sure there were no blockages.
Had him upside down. You know, she was literally, you could hear her rattling off everything she was checking, thinking about. She said she made mention of not noticing or not seeing any worms, like worm activity. Because I even brought up dewormer, just kind of brought her up to speed with what we've done with everybody. And
yeah,
that wasn't the concern right at the time. And even if it was something different like that with these goats, you know, you can only do so much. So I think the antibiotic that they gave, plus whatever that additional thing was that's in there that kind of burns when it goes in, you know, it helped tremendously. We got to give that shot again tomorrow. And then I believe another 4 days after that. So we're going to stick to what she told us. And she was very, very nice to inform two people who, you know, this is our first rodeo, and she knows that. So we are trusting them and keeping a very close eye on him and doing as much as we can. And then of course, if there are any more issues or things don't get better or whatever, we'll be giving them a call back. And that was what she encouraged us to do. So that's what we're going to do. And right now that's what's going on here at Shady Acres. So,
yeah.
However, we have made some accommodations for the birds. Guineas are actually one of the hardiest birds after doing some research. Even though they're indigenous to Africa, like they're not naturally from the United States, they can withstand the cold temperatures. But any bird, you've got to keep them out of the wind. So we'll take you up there and show you our nice little makeshift quick fix for that. And they're doing well. We're going to get them out so they can get some sunshine today as well. And we're just keeping everybody warm and trying to keep them healthy.
Yeah, that's really all we can do.
Yep. Including ourselves, right,
yeah.
Spacers? Because you're concerned with that.
Yeah, super concerned with that. Just keep the hate coming, okay? Thanks.
He's so compassionate.
I know.
All right, well.
I'm hoping it dries up a little bit today because it is a soppy mess down here.
Yeah.
And we have hay and straw and stuff down on the ground so that they're not just walking in mud, but not in every area, you know. So like there's some areas we need to kind of put some straw down and make it a little bit better, but
yep, but
it's gonna warm back up. Blessing
in disguise. When I went up to see the birds yesterday and the rain was actually coming down, because we have all the hills and slopes and things, it's not, you know, perfect flat pasture land. Our water moves. Like, it rained all day. I have no idea how much, but we don't have standing water. Like, it runs, it finds, there's a big ravine that kind of, this is the edge of our property over here, big ravine that runs all the way across the property, all the way to the other property line. There's that one, and then there's also one up front that cuts down on the east side of Goatville and connects up. So it is nice that we at least don't have all the standing water. We're not swimming through it today to get to our animals and get around the land. But, you know, it was one of those days you just had to wait it out.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
You're welcome. think that'll pretty well cover their bedding area. Keep them warm. I'm gonna put these back over here.
Okay. Well, I think that's about the shortest version of an update for Harry. We will just keep an eye on him all day today. We'll give him that shot tomorrow. That'll be a fun one. Are you gonna hold him? I'm gonna give him the shot, or vice versa?
I'm gonna hold him. I can't.
Can't do that?
I can't do it.
Okay. So he'll get that shot tomorrow, and then we're just gonna keep trying to make sure he's eating, drinking, pooping, and peeing.
Yeah, that's all we can do.
I mean, he's definitely he's just moving a little slow, but
at least the sun is shining today and he can get some vitamin D. I feel like that'll help a lot. And it'll help warm him up too.
For sure. Hello, birds.
Good morning. How's everybody doing today?
So I really like what we did to block the wind. Dad had a really big, thick tarp, because I was talking to him about, like, man, this cold's gonna come quick and I'm not gonna have time to get a structure built. So he kind of told me one of the iterations they had done for their birds back in the day. So we put that big tarp on there, and it's fantastic. It blocks the wind, which is really what they need. And then we got it held down with our cinder blocks and deck blocks, and even in the wind, it's doing a great job.
Let's go inside to show him.
But the only problem with it is the smell. You know, there's not, not as much throughput of the wind to move the smell. So it doesn't smell great, but
and I had to clean it out a little bit more often now.
Here, let me throw their scratch and worms so they'll all come out. I think I'm even gonna let the big Turks come out and get some sunshine for a minute.
Okay. Christina is ready. She's like body checking the door.
Oh, I know. We're getting you, girl. Hang on. All right, big Turks. You come out and stretch out a little bit.
That guinea just flew right over the turkey, but then stayed inside.
Saw that. Everybody's still. Now we don't have a camera up here, so we really don't have a way to keep an eye on them remotely, but the very next morning, which would have been yesterday morning after we had put the wind block up, whew,
It smells so bad.
One of them just dropped one. There's a bunch of feathers back there underneath where that tarp is blocking the wind, so that tells us that they did get under it and stay out of the wind at least the last couple nights, which is great.
Yeah, and I'll get in there and kind of show them where we moved their roosting bars and everything too.
Awesome.
So we moved their roosting bars back to the back and over here on the side so that they have a lot more covered space and they can stay warm, they can eat in the warm, all of that. Ooh.
Well, and other than the smell,
it's pretty nice in here.
it really is. Like, there's a drastic difference. That wind, that's the problem right now. And that's why it was so nice down there in the shelter, but it's just that wind, it's piercing.
So yeah, I feel good about this, and
I do too.
The setup we've got for them.
I do too.
Oh, and we did buy a heated water. Look at the color on Christina. I love it when the sun hits her and all her colors kind of shine through.
She absolutely has hidden color in there.
She does.
There's reds and greens and
oranges and yellows.
Little maroon.
It's so pretty.
She says, right now, the only thing I'm concerned with is finding every wormy you threw out here.
Yeah.
Yeah, she said,
What do you think, Turks? Kind of thought you'd walk around a little more.
I think this is just what they do. They just get big. Hey, he does still have that black feather back here.
Oh, does he?
Yep, it's just buried.
Oh, yeah, I see it now.
You can't see it when it's laying down because those white ones are about 1.5 inches, 2 inches longer.
Yep. You guys are active today, aren't you?
I would love to leave these guys out all day. I know, though, beyond a shadow of a doubt, give it 30 minutes, maybe an hour, and they're down there outside of that goat pen, and they will have Herc all up in a frenzy.
Terrorizing Herc.
So what we need to look into, you know, we're partnered with Gallagher. That's Goatville is completely surrounded by a Gallagher electrical fence, and that thing has been fantastic. But I think they have a poultry netting, kind of like what my dad uses for his chickens. We might need to reach out to them and see. Maybe we could build a little perimeter up here.
That way we can still let them out every day.
Yeah, because
yeah, I would really like that.
The guineas could get over it. These big turks, I don't see them getting a vertical flight far enough to go up 4 feet in the air, or however tall that is.
The other problem that we've run into is the birds have destroyed the insulation around the bottom of the camper. And I mean destroyed. And somebody had commented that your turks did the same thing. So I kind of knew it was coming. But we're going to have to replace some of the insulation around the bottom of the camper. And I don't want the birds to just come in and completely terrorize it again. So having some of that poultry netting up would help. And I'm wondering if the turks kind of stayed up here, if it would encourage the guineas to stay up here instead of coming down and destroying the insulation around the camper.
Who are they more loyal to, me or the turkeys?
Turkeys.
You think so? That's a pipe dream. They'd still come down. The guineas will peck at the foam a little bit, but I think Christina usually triggers it first.
Yeah.
She does it, and then they're like, oh, this must be good, and they get after it.
Okay, well, the guineas all took off when I wasn't expecting it, so the big turks tried to go with them. So Kyle's gonna try to wrangle them back up here.
It'll be a slow wrangle. We don't move extremely fast back to the pen. Keep going. We've just got too much going on down in that goat pen with Harry and Hercules and everybody that I don't even want to risk having these guys down there tormenting him.
Not a chance.
Because when they get him all amped up, if he can't get to him, then he's left hyper and they're still on the outside of the pen.
Yeah.
And then the other goats, you know, he goes around and sees if anybody wants to play chase. Let's go. Let's keep going. All right, guys. Well, Harry's on the mend. The turks are back up there.
The guineas are on the other side of my office.
And they're just talking, but they they got a little bit of eating season left, so we're gonna let them graze. I don't know how well that's being picked up on the microphones, but they're stinking loud, just chatting it up. We're gonna keep an eye on everybody, guys, and we'll keep you posted. We're trying to get back to some normalcy, you know, but you gotta go through the nursing process and make sure everybody's healthy and good.
Yeah.
And you got to get acclimated to the cold, and there's some things we've had to do to, you know, make sure our water's not going to freeze and all that good stuff. Just part of living out here and what we're doing.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we love and appreciate each and every one of you. We thank you for coming on this journey with us, and all the prayers for Harry, and we hope he gets better soon as well. The birds are coming back.
They said, Christina, come join us. Let's go wander.
Thanks, guys. As always, we'll see you in the next one. Bye.